Good evening, everybody. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday, episode 175. It's a delight to be in your ears, your eyes, wherever you might be tonight. Let us know where you're coming in from. That's always cool. I'm coming at you from home base. Our topic tonight is, try not to shake the camera, Scott, is the trip to Alaska. It was a pretty spectacular time on one hand and a little underwhelming on the other, I have to admit. But I'm going to share with you what we learned, what we did a little bit, and it was pretty cool, I have to admit. It validated some things I suspected about Alaska, and some things were new. And I'm going to share that with you tonight. We're coming at you. There's a Resi 1 on the left of your screen. That's my new home base, my 40-foot by 10-foot-ish trailer, and that's Glam Camp. And this is kind of home base for the foreseeable future. Pretty cool. I am excited to say that I am taking a trip starting, I think it's the 14th or the 15th of July. So coming up in a week and a half. I'm pretty excited. I had to go get my gear for tonight's show out of my van, and Lily is crying. She's like, "Where are you? You've been gone so long." And I got to admit, it's been a while. So I'm pretty excited to get back on the road. Here's kind of our agenda tonight. Let me show you this. Where are we at here, Scott? Stand by. So I'm trying new formats here, so let me know how this goes for us. Here's our agenda for tonight. Let's go right here. Yeah, there we go. Let me know if we're coming in. Cool. We got some great folks in here already. We're going to say hi to everybody in a few minutes. So here's our agenda tonight, today. Wherever you might be watching. Thanks for watching the live, by the way. Hey, if you're joining for the first time, my name's Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, about compact travel. You rock for being here. Happy July 4th Eve, by the way. So here's our announcements tonight. I got some really big news on the Peace, Love, and Vans event that's happening in March 2025. We're going to give you all a first look at exclusive tickets tonight, how to get those. And if you're on our Patreon, you're going to see this later tonight, how to get those. We'll dive into that. This Saturday, we have a Patreon True Believers Zoom at 12 p.m. Eastern this Saturday, July 6th. We want to reiterate that our great partner, Embassy RV, has, at long last, worth the wait, has launched their Cape Cod B+. They are taking the week off, as they do for a summer break at Embassy. So I'm not able to give a whole lot more information than we provided for you last month, but we do want to talk about, so if you're looking for a Class B+, you've discovered a van is too small for you, Mom, a couple of dogs, and all the gear, then a B+ could be in your future, especially if you don't want one that has slide outs. A lot of them do. The Cape Cod from Embassy does not have that. So we'll kind of reiterate that tonight a little bit further. And on Wednesday the 18th, I'm going to be in Sarasota, Florida. Vanlife Outfitters, they are the producers of the Peace, Love, and Vans event. They're having an open house. I am making the trek to Sarasota. We're going to be making my first real travel style video that I've been working on for a while. And we're going to do What's Up Wednesday from their site live. So join us for that. You can go to Eventbrite and type in Vanlife Outfitters and learn about their open house coming up. Free tickets. I think it's at 5 p.m. And ends at 7 p.m. But check that out. If you want to put the thing in the comment here, we'll try and reach out to you. That would be great. Or just go to their website. That's probably the best thing to do. The sun is going to set, so this weird Venetian blind thing is going to go away. So what else are we doing tonight? Well, let's just say howdy to some folks, and then we'll get into the Alaska trip. I'm going to share some stories, some photos, both on and off the boat, and I'm going to share with you what I recommend going. Would I do it again? It is going to Alaska in my van. In my plans. So that's what we got going tonight. So let's say hi to some folks, and then we'll get into some of the announcements real quick. So we just want to say howdy to Father Peter here. He's says if I'm in Kenai, which I did not get to, he'd be happy to give me a tour. That's pretty cool. Side icons in my van. Yeah, I've got some Catholic icons, what have you in my van. I just love that stuff. Let's see where we at here. Here's Sharon in the house. Sharon, good to see you, ma'am. Here's Sherry, headed to Alaska on the 18th. Holy cow. That's exciting. You'll have to share us, Sherry, where are you? It looks like you're driving. So, okay, so that's cool. There's David in the house from Chicago. Venture around yeah, you were kind of in Portland. Yeah, that's right. I think we had just left when you just arrived or something like that. We got to get our calendars more synchronized, sir. Here's Taurus in the house. Great to see you. Think about Alaska trip once I get my new RV. Are there winter months that are absolute no? My limited information is, yeah, I would pick the summer months for sure. Here's John in the house. Great to see you. Sue and John checking in from Western New York. 84 degrees. Nice out. Welcome back, Scott. Hope you had a ball in Alaska. I did. I'm going to share some of that tonight. Here's Eric in the house. Good to see you, sir. In Cobble's Skill. Oh my gosh. Hey, Eric, what's up? Let's see. We got Tim in the house. Timothy, good to see you. Columbus, Ohio, great town. Appreciate you being here. Here's Frisco T. She's had some excitement this day. How's the harvest host treating you, ma'am? Hopefully better than earlier in the day. Here's Louisville Steve. Great to see you. This is great. Alicia Cunningham, Toronto, Canada. Welcome. That might be a new name. Good to have you here, man. Appreciate that. Here's SK. Very cool. 95 from College Station. Oh, College Station. Why does that sound familiar? Let us know what state that's in or country. That'd be cool. Here's Frank and Sharon. Great to see us. Hope you're all feeling better. I think you had some. Hope you're all feeling better. Sorry, we missed you in PDX. Here's Yeah. Coming to Austin, Texas. 97 degrees. Yeah, summer's arrived early everywhere, pretty much. I love Austin. Oh my God, I miss Austin. Here's Roberta Douglas, Lakeland, Florida. Yes, ma'am. Headquarters of Publix Grocery and just up the street from West Palm Beach. Takes about 5 hours to get there, but oh well. Toy Car Collector, good to see you. From Oregon, went to Alaska in the 90s. Felt the stills like Oregon. We're going to talk about that. Lots of dust and gravel on the roads. Found Denali is only visible a few days a year, kind of like Mount Hood and Mount Rainier, right? Oh my God. We did get to see both mountains during our trip. It was spectacular weather in Alaska and Seattle and Portland. Pretty cool. Wildlife is seasonal. We were in the wrong season. Yeah, I would definitely check out YouTube videos. I think Neil and Britt are going. They have a YouTube channel. Here's Bill and Joe. Great to see you, gentlemen. Here's Lyle in the house. Oh, God love you. Thank you, Lyle. Appreciate that. Here's Grace. Hot down here. Really? Southern California? Well, I guess LA, unless you're talking about San Diego. That's perfect weather. Here's Leonard in the house. And Ocala, Florida, just up the road. So great. Here's Frisco T saying, got my passport. Really want to venture up Canada, Alaska. I want to do Alaska with a group, not alone. That's probably good advice. I would have to agree. So Sherry's doing it the right way. I don't know. Flying and cruising. So maybe I can give you some advice. Maybe, I don't know. It was one fast week, let me tell you. There she is. Oh, speaking of that, Libation Live. We don't really do that anymore, but we just have Libations Live. Cheers, everybody. Working on my workout program, so we're going easy tonight. If you do a super chat, I got my jingle jar out. By the way, the jingle jar here, cheers, Teresa. This one's holding up much better. The one I bought earlier was green, if you remember that. Was probably made in the 80s or 90s or something like that. Cracked from jingling change in the thing. This one is from the 1920s. You can see it's got the old style, maybe even earlier, 30s. And this thing is, you could break into a car. I'm pretty sure with this thing. It's just, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good today, so hang tight. There's K3 in the house, Wisconsin, 81 degrees, nice. All right, so we've said hello to folks. What I want to do is shift gears. Thank you all for being here. You're all the true believers. I love it. Okay, let me share the Alaska trip with you. Let me go over here and let me do announcements first. This is really big. Okay, So zoom in big here. I'm going to go full screen so you can see this. So the first big announcement we have is Peace, Love, and Vans. This is going to be their 3rd year. This event just happened in February of this year. They sold out both years, so they're doing it a little differently this year. peaceloveandvans.com, I think, is the website. This is kind of what it looks like. I am going. If you've been there before, this is a familiar map. So kind of the birds of the feather is kind of in the left corner-ish. We've got 3 streets. We got Watson Way, Go Small, Live Large, and then they're kind of dedicating some for Embassy, which is pretty cool, Embassy RV owners. So we kind of have 3 streets, I'll call it. And that's our placement again this year. We're just in a superb area. Down in the bottom right corner, if you see my red square there, this is Groovy Grove Campground. And in the left side, the connected camp is for RVs that are bigger and or need power, because there's no services at the site. There is a dump station. But why this is important, because what you want to do is choose your camp group, and they're kind of spread it around this year. So again, they're trying some different things, and let me just see if we can get through this quick. So here's the deal with the tickets. What they've done is associate a group of tickets to Go Small, Live Large viewers only. This will not be public information other than through this channel, Go Small, Live Large. I will be doing an announcement video specific to this and a couple other things probably this weekend. These go on sale the 8th of, I think it's right here. They go on sale the 8th of July at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll go back. The key thing here is you need the secret code. The secret code is up there in the top in the yellow highlight. And then if you want to take a screenshot quick of this, this is what you're going to want to do on the 8th at 10 a.m. Set your alarm. We've got a pretty good batch. It's limited in Birds of a Feather. There's more in Groovy. So they're kind of spreading us all around this year, which I think is cool. It makes us move around and meet our friends. That's pretty cool. So go to their website on July 8th, peacelovevans.com. Click on camping tickets. Choose the ticket type, Birds of a Feather. Groovy Grove, there's a lot there. You'll be asked for that pre-sale password. That's what's up in yellow. You'll want to, you have to type it in once. Proceed to checkout, type the password in again, and then you got it. Spend your money, and you are done. So again, we'll make an announcement on this, and I will put this on my website under the events tab. And again, what they are doing is not making this a public, so this is for our group only. So if you want to join us in the for the event, it's going to be pretty cool. And that's the deal there. I'll put this code on here one more time. So take a screenshot quick. And again, we'll be making a announcement video this weekend about it. Fair? I'm super excited. We're working with the guys. Cheers, everybody. And they're doing similar things. We're going to pray for no rain. Hello. So there we go. Okay, a couple more announcements. All right, so we just want to give a shout out again to Sherry for taking this awesome photograph last month of the Cape Cod. It's in the wild now. They're going to 2 adventure van expos. So if you're looking for a B-plus van, that is pretty stellar. Sherry, if you could please put in the where are they going to the adventure van? I had it backwards last What's Up Wednesday last month. But if you're interested in something bigger than a van, that's pretty spectacular inside, done the Embassy way. And you heard about from Go Small, Live Large. Let them know that they're on break this week. So there you go on that. We just love working with Embassy RV. Here's, if you go to their website, it's embassyrv.com. That is where you can get some of the information. Last I looked, they did not have any interior photos. They may have got those posted yet. I don't know. And that's the deal there. All right, what else going on here, Scott? Oh, yeah, so the other big announcement is for True Believers, we do 2 Zooms at the True Believer member level. One is coming up this Saturday. We're going to be talking about fresh water. So if you're joining us for that as a True Believer, Bring your thoughts on water. It's hot. You need to stay hydrated on the road. I've learned how to do that pretty easily. Many of you have as well, and we're just going to get together and share our tips. Fair enough? All right. Whew, how are we doing so far? Oh, the Vanlife Outfitters. So if you can go to their website, which cleverly is vanlifeoutfitters.com. If you want to join us in Sarasota this coming 2 weeks, July 18, it's in Sarasota. I'll be there, and it'd be great to see you in person. That would be so great. So no way. Are you kidding me? Oh man, we got in and out just right. Toy collector saying, or toy car is saying 102 this weekend. Woo! Yeah, this kind of ties in. Oh, here you go. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it. Embassy be in Massachusetts in August, Northern California, Tahoe. AdventureVanExpo.com is where you can go and get tickets for that and see that beast in. Well, it's not really a beast. It's a Cape Cod. Somebody else makes a beast. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Happy 4th of July Eve. All right, let me tell you about Alaska. This is pretty cool. Let's see. Let's go like this. Let's see if there's anything running around in Glam Camp quick. No, but I gotta share a funny story with you. So that tree that's in the middle of the screen, that's a mango tree. In southern Florida, it's mango seasons, and if you just looked at the size of mango, they're pretty big. We had to hack this tree in half basically to get them not to fall like rain on the RV. It was pretty traumatic, but they keep falling, and there's some animal. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing raccoon, could be an iguana. They don't really move around at night to my knowledge, but whatever it is, whatever has fallen, they go crazy overnight, and they are really good at cleaning out an avocado or an avocado. I'd be loving that. Not a big mango fan, but they love mangoes. Holy cow. Okay, Alaska, you ready? Here we go. So we went on the, if you have any questions, I'm monitoring the chat. So chat away. This was a great, awesome, and I'm sure it does happen, marketing photo, but this was not us. We did go on Princess. The Majestic is the name of the ship. It launched out of Seattle on a Sunday afternoon, and this is what everybody's hoping to see. I'm sad to say we didn't see this. I'll tell you about that. This is where we went. The stateroom was actually a really awesome room. It was on the 8th deck and really toward the front, very much toward the front, which was a great place to be. Kyle is great at getting these rooms for nothing. That's pretty awesome. This was our agenda. So Seattle, then Ketchikan, Endicott Arm. This was the fjord where the glacier was. I can't remember the name of the glacier. Then we went to Juneau. Those were the same day. And then we went to Skagway. And then we stopped in Victoria. So that's the deal there. Let's see if I can get this off screen. I'll put it down here. So that was our round trip to Vancouver. So first thing you do, you get on, you get yourself a drink. Here I am in my cruise attire, destined for Alaska. It was really a nice ship, I have to admit. Trying on some new sunglasses there. Here we are departing Seattle. Now we used to live in Seattle. I lived there from 1986 to 2003. And then in 2003, we left for Chicago. So this was hometown for a long time, and it's grown up a lot. This is the boat departing. It's in the Queen Anne area. So I'm sorry, not Queen Anne, Magnolia. So if you're familiar with Seattle, there's Elliott Bay. And this picture is obviously downtown. We're leaving downtown, heading west. And Magnolia would be, the Magnolia Bridge would be to your to the left of the image there. There is a big cruise ship right downtown. That was Norwegian, I believe. And let me say, we were kind of grousing about it at first, having to go to this other location. And Princess picked out a sweet location on the Magnolia Pier there. Because trying to get your luggage and what have you in the middle of downtown Seattle on the waterfront, putting a few thousand people on or off would not be fun. So we really had a great spot there. So big thumb up for Princess for getting the right spot. It was pretty funny. This is Kyle with his pimp coat. It's a really heavy coat. It was so cold leaving. He was in his parka. It was pretty funny. So the first night was just some beautiful sunsets. It was a whole day plus to get to our first stop, and this is kind of past the Juan de Fuca, or the straight up Juan de Fuca and the Orcas Islands and all that business. It was really, really spectacular. Just love ship sea days. Sea days are what they're called. Just beautiful. It was cold, I have to admit. Our first stop was Ketchikan, and I'm really happy to say that when we got there, the weather was absolutely perfect. You can see Kyle is not wearing his parka, and Ketchikan's an old fishing town. A lot of history there, and I think what was a little underwhelming for us, and this will be, your mileage may vary depending on where you grew up and how much time you spend in the mountains, what have you. We grew up in the Pacific Northwest, me in Spokane, then Seattle. So we spent a lot of time looking at scenery like this, big mountains. Now these were pretty close. Seattle, you got to kind of go a little ways away, but nonetheless, there's mountains. So that's maybe one reason it was a little underwhelming for us, because it just felt like the Pacific Northwest, which is okay, right? But we kind of walked around downtown. We did have an excursion booked at, this is after we got off the boat. This was the only bar on the waterfront. And I'm like, the Arctic Bar, home of the Happy Bears. Well, maybe we stopped there on the way back. It was pretty funny. And we did stop on the way back from our excursion. I'll tell you about that in just a second. So home of the Happy Bears, we kind of renamed it the Humpy Bears. I was happy to say we got to meet some of the locals, and it was pretty funny. One thing that was really interesting, I always like to find places, even when traveling with the van, raise your hand if you are familiar with this, stay away from the touristy things, right? I mean, they have a place and time, but I don't know. I just like to kind of, act like a local. So I love street camping, urban camping, because I'm kind of living like a local, right? And what was funny about the Arctic Bar, home of the Happy Bears, there was 3 locals, me and Kyle and the bartender. So we got to have them for a little bit to ourselves. We got some information. One of them was a salmon fisherman. He was on a salmon fishing boat. He was waiting for his load of salmon to be offloaded, and was having a brewski to chill out. And they were all really funny. This guy took a shine to Kyle's pimp coat. He's like, what is this? And we started chatting with him a little bit, and how's the fishing business? How's the salmon business? Are you ready for this? When's the last time you bought salmon at the grocery store? How much did you pay per pound? He was getting paid 15 cents. That's 0.15 of a dollar. 15 cents a pound for his haul. I don't know why the producers, the farmers, the fishermen, they just take it on the chin for all this stuff. I looked at salmon today at the grocery store. It was like $13 a pound for just, a fillet. I'm like, who's making all that money? It ain't the fishermen. Good Lord. Anyway, we had a great time there at the Arctic Bar. Pretty funny. And then we went, so we had a 2 or 1 o'clock, I think it was, excursion that we booked on the boat. We are not big on excursions because we'd rather roam around and do our own thing and find some locals, and you heard the story. But here's the deal here. So this was on the George Inlet Lodge. It's been here since 1975. And the whole deal here is, are you ready for it? All you can eat crab feast, which was true. And it included tour, and it included some history, and it included how to crack a crab open. All right, now I'm traveling with Kyle. If you're not familiar, he's Asian. He's Vietnamese. He does all my crab cracking and picking for me. So I'm in good shape. I didn't need the how to crack a crab lecture. And it came with a free beer or free wine. Cheers, everybody. Oh, my God. So we got on this bus with about 50 of our closest friends that we never met. And they load you in. And this guy who had a bad day, apparently, was trying his very worst to give us some information about what he was driving through really fast. One of the fascinating sights, and it came up too fast for us to really understand it, but we saw a black bear getting in garbage. That was one of 3 wildlife we saw in Alaska. This bear was going to town, and so we finally, it was about a 20-minute trip to this place. And are you ready for the all-you-can-eat? They squished us all together. So we were kind of expecting a table by ourselves because it was not sold out. They had lots of tables. And we got to see with some of our ship friends from Montana, cool folks. Got to make friends. We love that. She gave us a crab cracking demo, and then they started putting the crab parts, like a half a crab, on your plate. Kyle was very quick to ask, "Are these fresh?" Nope, these were frozen, flash frozen on the boat from last year's season. So wah 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 right away. And what she did is like, looking at her watch, you got 30 minutes to eat all the crab you can. Now, if you've ever eaten with Asians and seafood, they take hours. I don't know all about you, but it was pretty funny. So he was downing it. And what was also kind of hysterical, I should have grabbed a picture, is they measured how much garbage, like crab shells, on your table, and the tallest one got bragging rights, basically. It was pretty funny, but we just went out there laughing. It was $150 per person. And I can tell you, not even Kyle ate $150 worth of crab in 30 minutes. It was pretty funny. So my advice, be careful on your excursions. We've done these kind of in the past, and they're not awesome. We'd much rather go find a crab place in town and find our own story. Although, and what it did is just kind of validate why we don't do excursions. We did actually look at doing the helicopter and dog sled thing, but this thing just kind of validated that you're a tourist trap. It's expensive. It's time consuming. It's, blah, blah, blah. So, hey Peggy, what's up? I see you from Texas. Nice. It's hot there, but not humid, right? So that was a deal there. So this was something that was super interesting to me, and I did not expect this. Ready for this? This was a screen capture on Friday. Please notice the time. So this is my iPad lock screen, and I've never seen this view of the world, because what it does, it tracks where you are, and then it shows you, the International Space Station view of the Earth, which I think is so amazing. Please note the time. This was captured at 13:08 or 1:08 p.m. Watch the light. This is the punchline. Look at this. This is at 23:29. It was 11:30 at night, and I got to tell you, it was just like dawn or dusk outside at 11:30 at night. I mean, you had to close the windows, the drapes on the ship, because you couldn't get any sleep. It was daylight. I think I read that the June 21 was the most daylight in that area. I think Juneau of Alaska. There's only 6 hours of darkness, and I'm not sure it ever really got dark, like what we see down here. And it was really cool for the first couple of days, and I'm like, this is kind of annoying. So, because of the daylight, you're going to see a picture here in a few minutes of the glacier, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was daylight. It was just the weirdest thing. It was like being on an eclipse. If you've ever seen the eclipse, that transition from day to dark, back to day, that's kind of what it felt like to me. All right, let's talk about glaciers. How are we all doing so far? Oh, Sam and Kelly, there you are. Oh, College Station, Texas. Yes, Sam and Kelly, thank you. I knew that sounded familiar for some reason. So great. Here's Peggy in the house. Great to see you. So Frank and Sharon's looking for which cruise you'll be going on. It'll be in the Brilliance of the Seas. Is that a Royal? That'd be nice. Been twice with family. Alaskan Side Paths at Holland America. Any itinerary, including Sitka, is a good choice. Sitka is the best for hiking. Yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit of a hike we did as well. It was really cool. There was a lot of things I really liked about it. Here's Butch. Hey, Scott. You're just down the street, man, sir. Butch Bunny. Great to see you. Yeah, here's some advice from Yaya. Choose wisely. I mean, you're kind of getting off our experience once and twice now with the crab thing. You're locked on a bus, so you can't get off. If you really don't like it, you're locked in for the duration, unless you jump off and take a taxi back. And some of the Caribbean islands, all they see is an ATM across your forehead, so it's just I don't know. We much prefer to figure out our own stuff or do some research. But yeah, choose wisely. So great. Okay. Let me show you this glacier thing. So I took some screenshots just as we were about to depart. So there, the blue dot is where I was on the ship. The ship's Wi-Fi was pretty good. Actually, it was not so good. That's why I didn't do any YouTube lives. And the cellular was even worse on land. I think Juneau was okay, but because of the glacier thing, we were only there for literally about 6 hours. So there we are, kind of scooting into the glacier. There's the dot. If you kind of look in where all the white is on the right, and you can see where the water comes in, that was the actual glacier we were headed to. I don't remember the name of the glacier. I apologize. But that's about as far as we got. And it was, and the reason for this, and the reason I want to share this with you is because, everybody wants to see that, like the picture we showed at the beginning, the ship next to the glacier, right? That's kind of what we went for. And here's, let me show you this quick. So here's kind of, I zoomed in a little bit. See how far away we were from the glacier? I think it was, this whole fjord thing is like 20 some miles. The itinerary said we would get to the glacier at 4 a.m. So we were up, it was already daylight. We were up and jumping around and the problem is we were about 3 miles from the glacier here. And it was a huge letdown. I'll be honest with you. And because that's what everybody wants to see, right? And this is a picture from the front of the ship. They had kind of a greenhouse looking thing. And this is what it looked like. So we're just sailing up this fjord. And if you look there closely, this is the problem. You see them there floating in the water? It was a ton of ice. It was literally tons of ice. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can zoom in here for you. See that big old thing right there? That dirty one? That's the one that was the no-go. And this one over here, I mean, there was tons of ice. And this was kind of the problem because there was so much ice, they couldn't go any further safely, which was 3 more miles. And as we got closer to it, the ice became bigger, more frequent. And what I learned from a glacier lecture later that morning, that the reason they were extra careful now, all the cruise ships going up here, is because I think it was 3 years ago, I don't remember the ship name, what they used to do is kind of move around, and they would really gently kind of move these big chunks of ice around and kind of go around them. But one of the cruise ships a couple 3 years ago misjudged and literally ran into the iceberg, because as you know about icebergs, the tip is up here, but all the stuff's down here and you can't really see it. And it was a big one just like this. They call it a dirty glacier, or a dirty ice, I think is what they called it. And it's really one of those bottom chunks that fall off, and it was filled with rock, big rocks, and it punctured a hole in the ship. So they had to do an about face, zoom it to Juneau, which is quite a hike, by the way, few hours, and unload everybody, including the crew, and then had to take that ship to Seattle to get repaired. So out of a 20-week cruise season to Alaska, they were out of commission for over 3 weeks, the lecture guy said. So now if they see ice, we ain't going. I get it, but man, what a disappointment. And they were apologizing all up and down. But, for the safety, nobody wants to replicate the Titanic, right? It was cool. What was great is, and this is not my photograph, thank you, Unsplash. On the way up, I did get to see a few killer whales feeding. That was pretty special. I would recommend highly to bring your binoculars, because without that, you would not be able to see this at all. And I brought mine. I was really, really glad I did. Used them a lot. So the glacier was kind of a want, right? So again, what they did is they announced why we were not going to make it up there, apologized, and said we're going to head for Juneau. Oops. Clam camp. Anybody see any iguanas? Yeah, me either. Those things are, I love to hate them. So they about faced, and even just spinning the boat around in this fjord, it was actually pretty cool. Really deep channel. And then here we are turning around, going back to Juneau. We're going up to Juneau. We had not been there yet. So imagine if you have a gaping hole in your cruise boat and you've got this far to go with a million people on board having a Titanic moment. That would not be fun. So you can see why they didn't do it anymore. I totally get it. But I have to say I was kind of disappointed. But since we've been up since 4 a.m. and now it's 6, is this one coming up? Oh yeah, let me show you this in a second. I actually went back to my room. Let me show you this. And it was pretty cool seeing these pretty big chunks of ice. There's one just kind of floating out here. So again, give you a sense of the size of these things. You didn't want to mess with them. This is our room. Pretty cool. Just as I was actually stepped out of the room onto the balcony there, this was taken at 6 a.m. We got there at 4 a.m. It was so weird. And we promptly took a snooze. So that was the deal. So the next stop was Juneau, is just a few hours up the road. And how are we doing so far? Hello all. Hey, life is good. What's up? So Juneau, again, these are some of the excursion-y things. Fortunately, we had a friend that moved to Juneau a couple of years ago. And here she is. This is Katrina. So she picked us up and kind of gave us our own excursion. It was pretty awesome. We went to her house, had some Vietnamese food. Kyle was dying for Vietnamese food. She's our great friend from Chicago. This is one of the, if you went on the bus tour, they all stopped here. We managed to escape most of them. It's a cool fountain, right? See the pretty mountains? Again, if you're kind of used to Idaho, Montana, Northern Oregon, Northern California, you've seen mountains, Wisconsin, right? It's kind of like, all right, they don't have whale statues. They're in Green Bay, but so it was kind of interesting. But she promised to take us to a glacier. Especially, I was excited about this because we had to let down on the boat. So this is the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center, Tongass National Forest, which covers a gazillion acres. There you can see the glacier in the background. I think I got a couple more here for you. So this was zoomed in. So I actually got to see a breaker, and I was praying for a van life miracle, or is that a cruise life miracle? And that would be for the calving. That's where the ice breaks off, right? Yeah, didn't happen at all. It was cool to see. We finally got to see a glacier. And from the lecture guy, he kind of clued us in on, glaciers are melting and size and why and all that stuff. What I was fascinated with is the Earth has been warming for 11,700 years. It's accelerated greatly recently. But he said that the glaciers in North America went from way north of Canada and came down all the way to Des Moines, Iowa. That was the lowest point the ice had ever reached in modern history-ish, right? And ever since then, it's been receding for 11,000 years all over the Earth. There's only 6, I think it was in North America, don't quote me exactly, but there's only 6 glaciers that are growing. Everything else is receding. So this is not really unique. The Earth goes through this all the time. But 11,000 years, last few years been really hot, so we ain't helping anything to cool it down, that's for sure. But that was the glacier. I was pretty excited by this. But wait, there's more. And this is going to play just fine. So we walked about, I don't know, a little less than a half mile to the falls, which you really couldn't see from the vantage point looking at the glacier at the visitor center. So you had to walk to go see this. Now you can't see the glacier, right? It's kind of over on the left, that little white blue. And this was, I'm telling you, the water was ice cold and so clear. If you're on Patreon, you're going to see some of this. It was really beautiful. And it was like 82 degrees. I mean, the locals are like, this is not normal. You never see this. Don't move to Juneau. It's not like this, right? Here's all of our ship friends. It was super pretty. I have to say that was pretty amazing. And it was nice to get a little hike, right? And she took us the back way where all the tourists kind of didn't know about, which is super great. Here's Kyle. He was a little underwhelmed. It's like, yeah, it's a waterfall. And sometimes ask me about the Liberty Bell story with Kyle. He's sometimes a little unimpressed. Here's the today's weather in Juneau. It's kind of the low 50s and the high 60s at night, and that's what it kind of normally is. This day was like 82 and sunny, and again, the locals are like, don't expect this. Please don't move to Juneau. I'm really happy to say, though, are you ready for this? I was really excited about this. It's not my picture. This is off Unsplash. Bald eagles were like crows around here, or the starlings. I couldn't believe it. They were like sitting in trees, just sitting in trees like normal birds. Were they fishing? I didn't see any fishing, but I can tell you they were in Juneau everywhere. Even in Skagway, we saw them. They're pretty much, and they're super easy to spot, right, with that tail and head. With my binoculars, I didn't get any good pictures because they were a little off the road far away, but they were just literally everywhere sitting around. It was the craziest thing. All right. So we're still in Juneau. And how are we doing so far? Anybody want to know who lives here? Yeah. If you guessed the governor of Alaska, you would be correct. A stately building. Wasn't open, to my knowledge. I felt bad just taking pictures, but it was pretty cool. Anybody know what this is? Yeah, it's the weirdest Capitol building I've probably ever seen. Save New Mexico. Man, Louisiana's got a pretty cool one. This was an old federal building built in like the 40s or early 50s, that when they became a state, they just kind of commandeered this federal building, and it was cool to be in there. I made a big fuss that I wanted to go see this, and this was not on the planned excursion, but I'm like, drop me off. I'm walking. You guys could do whatever it is. And I'm like, no way. This is just most interesting. So you go inside. Here's some old telephones, not operating, but they saved them, which I think is great. Remember when phone calls cost 10 cents? Can't you just sit and use a cord? Here's the House of Representatives, not in session. You walk up to the viewing platform thing. Very understated, right? Which I would expect in Alaska. We're in. So they had a wall of these newspapers, and there's Nixon and Eisenhower, right? Signing this. The governor of Alaska. There's Gerald Ford on the right. It was pretty cool. Anybody know the last state in the Union? These guys were 49. Here's the Senate. Sort of a similar deal. You can tell it's a small state. This is the House Senate. Not many chairs. But it's cool. I just always love walking through the Capitol buildings and getting a sense of the place. And I've been in a lot of state capitals over the years, traveling around, which I think is great. I tried to get an appointment. That didn't work out too well, but we got the photo. And it was kind of funny. This is when you enter the building. I'm like, I don't think I've been in the Capitol building other than Louisiana that didn't have a rotunda. I'm like, it was a little underwhelming, but I was really glad to be there. And also in the Hall of Governors, they had all the pictures of the governors since the inception of the state. There's only one female governor in the state of Alaska. Anybody know who it is? And by the way, she had the best looking photograph on the wall. I tell you, it's pretty funny. So walking around downtown Juneau, there was some cool murals. Take some pictures of those. A viewer said, "Don't miss the Red Dog Saloon." I'm always down for a saloon, and there's people waiting there, but there's a huge queue to get inside. I'm like, I'm not waiting. Everything was packed. There was some dude talking, like doing comedy with a piano thing. It was cool. I stayed there for a minute or two. Here's inside. There you can see the old boy on the under the American flag there on the left. You could use your put your peanuts. Oh, that sawdust, I think it was. I don't know, it was cool. A lot of stuff inside. I could just easily spend hours there just kind of hanging out and having a beer and doing some channel work or whatever. There's all the boat people though, boat tourists. But they had some pretty cool swag up on the walls. Some of his jokes were pretty funny. I think this one is kind of the claim to fame. So this is Wyatt Earp's gun that he checked and then never went to go pick up. So that was kind of the deal there. I'm happy to say that around the corner was the Quack Shack Shot Bar. You can see the sign there on the, let me see if I can zoom in for you. That's my kind of sign, right? Need a shot after all that, I guess. I quickly went over and had a shot, which was actually, I had some pretty cool. It was Alaskan whiskey, which actually wasn't bad. I was pretty impressed. And it was pretty cool. And then Kyle and Katrina, because I was walking around looking at the Capitol, and then we met, and what I was looking for in particular, again, let me know if you do the same thing, is looking where all the tourists aren't. So there was this Lucky Lady bar mid-block on the same block, and I said, let's go and have a drink. There we are, good old dive bar. Our friend Katrina there asked for a not a Manhattan. What's the other one? Oh, old fashioned. She's like, old fashioned. She's probably been bartending for a gazillion years. And she's like, old fashioned. What's in an old fashioned? I'm like, well, bourbon. I don't drink them, so I don't know. She had to look up the recipe on her phone. It was so funny. It took like an hour to get that drink. I don't know why. But this was another, this is kind of a cool bar sign around the corner. This is the Triangle Club. You just love this, right? When's the last time you saw Rainier beer advertised anywhere? Only in the Northwest. Kind of like Shiner, maybe. I don't know. Leave him with us. We'll look after him for you. You only pay for his drinks. Apparently not daycare or husband care, whatever. Pretty funny. I did manage. So I said, I need you go have fun with your friend. I'm going to go do my thing and get a break from all this. And so guess where I went? Yeah, let's go taste some bourbon. Now, they did have Knob Creek on the boat, but their selection was pretty limited. Knob and Woodford, and then the usual suspects, Jack Daniels and stuff. Not a great selection generally. So these guys had two different 1792s. I've had kind of the blend, which is fantastic. This one here on the left is bottled in bond. This one is single barrel. And I just want to kind of compare it to Knob Creek. And I got to tell you, they were spectacular. And a lot of places, let me know if you're kind of a bourbon drinker and you'd like to taste test. I'd love to do this, something that I'm familiar with versus something that's kind of new to me. And when they can give you three drinks in front of you, a lot of people won't do this. I asked special permission, and then he just left the bottles there, which is kind of nice. You can kind of look at it. Just for me, kind of brings out the whole bourbon experience, right? It would be a toss-up, really, which was the best. Knob is just, it's very tried and true and delicious, but the probably the single barrel. I'd have to give the nod to the single barrel, but it was all fantastic. And it was kind of nice to have a little break there. I made friends with the people that from my same ship, not just the bartender there in the white shirt. And what we did is I gave them all they took a straw and they put like a drink straw, and they put their finger over it, and everybody had a little taste. That to me is kind of the joy of tasting bourbon together. So you can do this. After that, got back on the boat. Here we go. There's kind of the piazza, as they call it. It's like I made it through Juneau, and this is what I do at night. This is what Kyle does at night. Whoop, it's still me. They're dancing. I'm not dancing. That's what Kyle does at night on the boat. He goes gambling. He's pretty good. He's what pays. That's what pays for the trip. So I get to cruise for free. It's pretty awesome. These chips are 500 each. You do the math. I'm happy to say he came out ahead overall, which is super great after we paid all the bills. So it's great to have a sugar daddy that knows how to play the game. I sure appreciate that. Cheers, right? Oh my God, that's so great. So I cruise for free, which is pretty amazing. We bought the Wi-Fi, we bought the drink package, and they give him a free room. He upgrades a little bit, and so that's how we roll. Cruise for free. We're doing about a cruise a month. The next one is just in a couple 3 weeks for my birthday. We're going on Royal Caribbean down to the Caribbean. Hopefully there's no hurricanes. That'll be an experience. Okay, coming to the end here. How are we doing on time? Holy cow. Talking too much. Skagway was our next stop. And this was a lot of history here. This is all about the Klondike Gold Rush. What was kind of cool, this is where it is. You can see Ketchikan, you can see Skagway's way up north, even north of Juneau. This is the most north we went. But these people had to like trek like 1,000 miles back in 1890 or something, with really no tool. It's just amazing what the people did. What I found fascinating was that they did not. It only lasted really just little less than 2 years. And the town they rebuilt for a tourist destination. So while there are some historic buildings here, a lot of these are kind of rebuilt. This was a cool mural. That was pretty cool. I think I've got a picture of this. Yeah. So this is a playhouse, and these gals were in the window singing songs to get attention and get people to buy the tickets. It was pretty funny. And then this, again, we were kind of trying to get away from all the tourists, and we discovered the Happy Ending Saloon, which was next to the Morning Wood Hotel, which was erected in 2006. You can see his T-shirt here. So funny. And we had lunch at the another little place. This is a cool building here. It's made of wood bits on the siding. Pretty amazing. And then we went to, so that's kind of the end of the Alaska thing. Whoops. Then we went to Seattle, where the boat docked. We got friends there. So we got there on Sunday. What was kind of cool about this is that the Pride Parade was going on, and Kyle's sister here works for the city of Seattle, and they had a big thing there. So we actually, by complete accident, found her and walked the parade route, which was pretty funny. They got some pretty good architecture now in Seattle. This looks like right out of Chicago. It was really cool. There's my apartment building I used to live in. I can't remember if it was on the second or third floor. I think it was a third. Great apartment. Lived downtown Seattle a long time ago. And then the vantage point from a friend's apartment. If you've been to Seattle in a while, it's grown up a lot, right? And then I'm just kind of zoomed in. It's everything, the big tall building on the right, the big black one, for about where this one is right here, with the kind of the capped top there. Everything left or right of that is fairly what's been there for a while. It's everything off to the right that's brand new, which is just hardly even recognize it. And then I zoomed in. This is Bellevue, Washington, which is across Lake Washington, and couldn't even believe this. It was just the growth over there is just insane. So that's it. Wanted to share that with you, and let me just see if we have any questions. So would I recommend this? It's really I'm not going back. We kind of been there, done that. I think a cruise ship was kind of enough taste for us. Again, living in the Northwest, we got super spoiled in mountains and rivers, and it's kind of been there, done that. Wildlife's cool. Would I drive my van up there? Absolutely not. Never was interested in doing that anyway. And if you look at the map of Alaska, you have to go through Canada to get there. And I just don't want to put my van through it. So I'm checking Alaska off. So would I recommend it for you? I think doing a cruise, if you can, is a great way to dip your toe in the water and see if you really want to do it. Check the weather. We lucked out. If you want to get by the glacier, my recommendation is go later in the summer. Probably late July and August would be great times because the ice is melted largely and the boats can get close. But it's really, what else did I want to say about this? Let me look at my notes quick. Again, glad we went. We had a great time. Got to see some friends, and that's why I probably get excited when I go see like Arizona, and places where it just looks so different from everything we're used to. So that's kind of the deal there. So let me just scan things. It looks like we don't have any questions. Yeah. Let's see. Says, thanks for pointing Alaska Capitol building. All interesting. It looks oddly like an office building, and it was until it became a state. And then they just, rather than building one, being pragmatic about it. I like that, right? So that was the deal there. So just on time. We'll be doing a What's Up Wednesday on July 18 from Sarasota, live from the Vanlife Outfitters. I'm sure you got some big plans for the holiday. So we want to say Happy Independence Day, everybody. It's a wacky world we live in right now, and we had some founders that really knew what they were doing well ahead of their time. This is the Independence Hall where the Declaration of Independence was signed in Philadelphia. If you have not taken your van to Philadelphia and done that whole thing, you really need to do it. There she is, Lady Liberty. Love that. And happy 4th of July, everybody. Really do appreciate you watching. And we will see you soon. I'm eager to get back on the road in a couple weeks, and just really appreciate hanging out with me tonight and listening to my story about Alaska. Don't let me be a downer if you want to go. Please check it off your bucket list. I'm glad we went. It was a cool experience. I can say we've been to Alaska. It's so awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, and we will see you soon. Journey on, and peace be with you. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.